Cold. That was the first thing Ju Park felt as she woke up. The metal floor beneath her cheek was smooth and icy. Her head hurt. Her body ached. She pushed herself up slowly, blinking in the dim blue light. The room was small. Metal walls. No windows. Just a single door with no handle on her side. A cell. Ju touched her forehead where a bump was forming. Her fingers came away with dried blood. The last thing she remembered was the attack on the research station. The sky had filled with massive ships, blocking out the sun. Then came the explosions. The screams. She looked down at herself. Her military uniform was gone. In its place were plain gray clothes, like pajamas but rougher. On her left arm, just below her wrist, was a fresh mark. Numbers burned into her skin. 70-19. A low hum filled the room. The sound of engines. She was on a ship then, moving. But to where? Footsteps approached outside. Ju quickly lay back down and closed her eyes, keeping her breathing even. The door slid open with a hiss. "Still unconscious," said a voice. It spoke English, but it wasn't human. The words came out clicking and buzzing. "This one has lasted longer than the others," said another voice. The scan showed military training. "It doesn't matter. Just another specimen. Magistrate Vrex wants the new batch processed before we reach home." The door closed. Ju opened her eyes. Processed. Specimen. The words made her stomach turn. She sat up and examined the cell more carefully. 6 steps long, 4 steps wide. A small drain in the center of the floor. A metal shelf jutting from one wall. A bed, she supposed. Nothing else. Ju had trained for many situations during her 10 years with Earth's special forces, hostage scenarios, survival in extreme environments. But nothing had prepared her for this. First contact with aliens had not gone as humanity hoped. She touched the numbers on her arm again. 70-19. To them, she was just a number. Not a person. Not Captain Ju Park, who had led rescue missions in war zones. Not the woman who had climbed mountains and dived in deep seas. Just 70-19. The ship jolted suddenly. Ju steadied herself against the wall. Through it, she could feel vibrations changing. The engines were shifting. They were either slowing down or speeding up. Then came voices from outside again. She pressed her ear to the door. "Humans from Sector 8 are not surviving the tests," one voice was saying. "The ones from the military base are stronger. Magistrate Vrex wants them separated for the arena." "How many have we collected so far?" "Almost 7,000, the largest harvest from any planet." Ju moved away from the door, her mind racing. 7,000 humans. Tests. Arena. None of it sounded good. She thought of her team back on Earth. Were any of them here too? Were they still alive? She had to find out. Had to escape somehow. Ju looked at the number on her arm once more. 70-19. Just a marking to the aliens, a way to keep track of their specimens. But Ju had always been good with numbers. During missions, she kept count of everything. Ammunition, supplies, time, distance, body count when necessary. She touched the 70-19 and made a silent promise to herself. This number would mean something different soon. Not just what they called her, but how many of them she would take down. Ju settled on the metal shelf and began to plan. She studied every inch of the cell, listened to the sounds of the ship, noted the timing of footsteps passing by. She tested her strength, still weak from whatever they had done to her, but coming back. She would be ready when an opportunity came. And it would come. It always did. They had given her a number. She would make it a kill count. 3 days passed before they came for Ju. 2 guards entered her cell. They were tall, with blue-gray skin that looked hard like shell. 4 arms, dark eyes that never blinked. "Stand, 70-19, one ordered. Ju stood slowly. She had spent the days exercising in her cell, rebuilding her strength. She kept her eyes down, playing weak and scared. The guards put metal cuffs on her wrists. They pushed her out into a long hallway. Other cells lined both sides. Through small windows, Ju saw human faces watching her pass. Some looked broken, others angry. All wore the same gray clothes with numbers on their arms. They walked for many minutes. The ship was huge. Ju memorized every turn, every door. She counted steps, noted guard positions, all information she might need later. Finally, they entered a large round room. The ceiling was high. The floor was dirt, not metal. Around the edges stood more guards, and in the center was a man in gray clothes. He was tall with broad shoulders. His number was 6104. One guard pushed Ju forward. "Fight begins in 2 minutes," he said, then left with the others. The man looked at Ju. His face was tired, but his eyes were kind. "I'm Do-Hyun," he said quietly. "They make us fight, but we don't have to hurt each other badly, just enough to make them think we're trying." Ju nodded. "I'm Ju. How long have you been here?" 2 weeks, I think. I was an engineer on Earth, not a fighter." A loud buzzer sounded. Above them, a clear wall appeared. Behind it sat aliens in fancy clothes. They were watching, waiting. "The winners get food," Do-Hyun explained quickly. "The losers get pain. But no one dies. They need us alive for something." Another buzzer. Do-Hyun moved away from Ju. "I'm sorry," he said. Do-Hyun rushed at her. His movements were slow, easy to avoid. Ju stepped aside. She pretended to punch, missing on purpose. The aliens above made angry sounds. One hit a button. The dirt floor shocked both humans with electricity. Ju fell to one knee, gasping. "They want real fighting," Do-Hyun whispered. "We have to make it look real." Ju understood now. She stood and nodded at Do-Hyun. Then she moved. Her first punch was light, but looked strong. Do-Hyun played along, falling back. The aliens clicked happily. For 5 minutes, they danced this way, making a show, careful not to truly hurt each other. Then a door opened. A new alien entered the arena. Taller than the guards, wearing red armor, it carried 2 metal sticks that sparked with electricity. "Magistrate Vrex," Do-Hyun whispered, fear in his voice. "The ship's commander." Vrex spoke, voice booming. "Humans are weak. They do not fight with true spirit." He turned to Ju. "Perhaps 7219 needs motivation." Vrex swung his sticks at Do-Hyun. The engineer screamed as electricity filled his body. Something snapped in Ju. Her training took over. She moved fast, faster than the aliens thought humans could move. She dodged Vrex's second swing and grabbed one of the sticks. With a twist, she pulled it free and jabbed it at Vrex's arm. The magistrate roared in pain. Guards rushed forward. One hit Ju from behind. Darkness filled her vision as she fell. When she woke, she was back in her cell. Her body hurt everywhere. But something had changed. On the floor by the drain was a food packet, twice the size of her usual meals. She had won something today. Not just food. Knowledge. The aliens could be hurt. They could feel pain. They could be surprised. And she was not alone. Ju ate slowly, saving half for later. On the wall of her cell, she used a bit of food to mark a small line. Not for days past. For planning. The count would begin soon. Ju won 3 more fights in the arena. Each time, she learned something new about the aliens, how they moved, where they were weak, what made them angry. After her 4th fight, the guards did not take her back to her old cell. Instead, they put her in a new one. This cell was bigger. It had a real bed, a small sink with water. "Special treatment for good fighters," a guard said before leaving. Ju checked every corner of the new cell. Under the bed, around the sink, behind the small air vent near the floor. The vent. It was loose. She waited until the hallway was quiet. Then she pulled at the vent cover. It came off easily. Inside was a small metal box with wires, and tucked beside it, a folded piece of cloth. Ju took out the cloth and unfolded it. It was a map, hand-drawn, showing parts of the ship, cells, guard posts, and strange marks she didn't understand. "You found it." The voice came through the wall. Quiet. Female. Ju pressed her ear to the wall. "Who are you?" "Yunji, prisoner 5033. I was hoping they'd put a fighter in that cell." "What is this map?" Ju asked. "Our way out. Look at the box in the vent." Ju examined the metal box. It had small lights, buttons. "It's a communication tap," Yunji explained. "I built it from parts I stole. I was a communications expert before they took me." "Who else knows about this?" Ju asked. 17 of us now, including Do-yun. He told us about you." Juwoo's heart beat faster. A network. Other humans working together. "The aliens think we're just scared animals," Yunji continued. "But we've been listening to their communications, learning, waiting for someone like you." "What do you know?" Juwoo asked. "This ship is heading to their home planet, a place called Voidhaven. We'll arrive in 20 days. They're gathering humans for some big project." Juwoo thought about this. 20 days. Not much time. "There's more," Yunji said. "Every 3 days, they move prisoners to different sections. Security is lighter during moves. And there's a weapons storage near the arena." Juwoo looked at the map again. She now understood the strange marks. Movement times, guard counts, weak points. "We need to talk to Do-yun," Juwoo said. "When will they move him next?" "Tomorrow. His cell is marked on the map. Section B7. For hours, they talked through the wall. Yunji explained how the network worked. Small taps in vents, whispers through walls, messages hidden in food trays. "Why me?" Ju finally asked. "Why trust me?" Do-yun said you fought Magistrate Vrex. No one has ever done that and lived. The guards talk about you now. They call you the dangerous one. Ju touched the number on her arm. 7219. The dangerous one. "One more thing," Yunji said. Do-yun found something while fixing their computers. The aliens are afraid. Afraid? Of what? Of humans. Their reports say we adapt too quickly, learn too fast. They've invaded 12 other worlds before. None fought back like Earth. This was important. Fear could be used. In the morning, guards came for daily inspection. Juwoo had already put the vent cover back in place. They found nothing. As they left, one guard spoke to another. "Magistrate Vrex wants this one isolated. Too dangerous with others." "When?" asked the second guard. "After next arena day. Special cell in the restricted section." After they were gone, Juwoo pulled out the map again. She had new information, new plans forming. 20 days until they reached Voidhaven. But the aliens would start counting bodies much sooner. Juwoo added another mark to her wall. Not a kill yet. But soon. 2 days passed. Juwoo memorized the map. She and Yunji talked for hours through the wall, planning. Juwoo learned that the ship had 12 levels, 5,000 human prisoners, and one chance to fight back. On the 3rd day, alarms sounded throughout the ship. Red lights flashed in the hallways. "What's happening?" Juwoo asked through the wall. "Maintenance cycle," Yunji answered. "Every 8 days, they check the ship's engines. Half the guards go to help." This was the chance they needed. "Now?" Juwoo asked. "Now," Yunji confirmed. "The door controls reset for 12 minutes during each cycle." Juwoo moved to her cell door. She pressed the hidden spot Yunji had told her about, just beside the frame. The door slid open a few inches. Not much, but enough. Juwoo squeezed through the gap. The hallway was empty. The red lights still flashed, covering everything in a blood-like glow. She moved quickly to Yunji's cell and opened it the same way. A small woman with short hair stepped out. Her eyes were sharp and alert. "We have 11 minutes, Yunji said. "Follow me." They ran through the hallways, ducking into empty rooms when guards passed. Yunji led them down 3 levels, using service tunnels that weren't on any official maps. "Here," Yunji whispered, stopping at a small door. "Weapon storage." The door had a lock with alien symbols. Yunji pulled out a small device made from stolen parts. "Doyun made this," she explained. "It copies their access codes." The lock clicked. The door opened. Inside were racks of weapons, shock sticks like the ones Magistrate Vrex had used, small guns that fired energy bolts, and communication devices worn by the guards. "Take only what we planned," Yunji warned. "Anything more will be noticed." Juwu took 3 shock sticks and hid them in her clothes. Yunji grabbed 2 communication devices. 8 minutes left, Yunji said, checking a small counter on her wrist. Now for the important part. They moved to another level. This one had fewer cells and more working areas. Labs, control rooms, places where the aliens studied humans. "Guard station ahead," Yunji whispered. 3 guards always there. Juwu nodded. "Wait here." She moved silently toward the station. 3 guards sat inside, watching screens. Their backs were to the door. Juwu took out a shock stick, her first real chance to fight back. She entered the room like a shadow. The first guard didn't even turn around before the shock stick touched its neck. Blue electricity sparked. The guard fell. The second guard stood, reaching for a weapon. Too slow. Juwu struck twice. The guard dropped. The third guard managed to hit an alarm button before Juwu reached it. Lights flashed. But by then, it was too late. The shock stick found its mark. As the third guard fell, Juwu pulled out a small sharp piece of metal she had taken from her bed frame. She carved something into each guard's shell-like skin. 7219. Her number. Her first real kills. The count had begun. Yunji rushed in. "Alarms. We need to go now." But Juwu wasn't finished. She went to the control panel and pressed the buttons Yunji had taught her. Security cameras in 3 sections went dark. "What are you doing?" Yunji asked, panic in her voice. "Making sure they know it wasn't an accident," Juwu answered. On the main screen, Juwu typed in numbers, 7219. Then they ran, through tunnels and halls, back to their cells. They made it just as the maintenance cycle ended. Doors locked again. Systems reset. In her cell, Juwu added 3 marks to her wall. 3 down, many more to go. Across the ship, alarms kept sounding. Confusion spread among the aliens. 3 guards dead, security breached, and everywhere, that same number, 7219. They had given her a number. Now they would learn what it meant. The ship buzzed with tension after the attack. Guards doubled. Prisoners were checked hourly. But no one looked at Juwu differently. The aliens couldn't believe a human could have killed 3 guards. 4 days passed. Juwu was taken to the arena again. This time, she fought against 2 other humans at once. She was careful, making it look hard but winning without hurting them badly. Magistrate Vrex watched from above, his dark eyes never blinking. After the fight, guards took Juwu to a new place. Not her cell. Not the arena. It was a small room with a metal table and bright lights. Vrex entered alone. His tall form made the room feel smaller. "Prisoner 7219, he said, voice clicking. "You fight well for a human." Juwu kept her eyes down. "Played weak. 3 of my guards were killed during maintenance," Vrex continued. "They had a number carved into them. Your number." Juwu said nothing. "But that's impossible," Vrex said. "No human could kill 3 Voidborn warriors. No human is that clever." He placed something on the table, a small metal device. This was found in Section 6. It doesn't belong on this ship. Juwu looked at the device. Her heart beat faster. It was from Earth. A military tracker. You were a soldier on your world, Vrex said. Tell me what this means. Juwu finally spoke. It means you're not as smart as you think. Vrex hit her. Hard. Juwu fell from her chair. You will tell me, he shouted. But a guard rushed in before more could happen. Magistrate, we're receiving a signal. From outside the ship. Vrex looked at Juwu once more, then left. Guards took her back to her cell. When everything was quiet, Yunji spoke through the wall. Are you okay? I heard they took you. I'm fine, Juwu answered. But they found something. A tracker from Earth. Impossible, Yunji said. Unless. Unless what? Unless we're not alone out here. Juwu thought about this. Could others from Earth be following the ship? It seemed impossible. But the tracker was real. That night, as Juwu slept, a new sound came from the vent. A soft beeping. She opened the vent and found the communication tap glowing. She pressed the blinking button. A voice came through. Quiet. Human. Male. This is Commander Taehyun Lee of Earth Fleet Vessel Shadow. Transmitting to Resistance Cell on Voidborne Transport. Please confirm receipt. Juwu couldn't believe it. Earth had ships in space. Following them. Confirm receipt, she said into the device. This is Prisoner 7219. Former Captain Juwu Park, Earth Special Forces. Static. Then, Captain Park. Your status was listed as missing in action. Are you in control of your communication? Yes, I'm part of a prisoner network on the ship. There are thousands of us here. We've been tracking this vessel since it left Earth space, Taehyun explained. But we can't approach without being detected. We need help from inside. Hope filled Juwu for the first time in weeks. What do you need us to do? She asked. Their shields make rescue impossible. If you could disable the main shield generator during our approach, we could board the ship. Juwu thought of the map. The network of prisoners. The growing count on her wall. We can do it, she said, but we'll need time to plan. You have 6 days, Taehyun said. That's when we'll be in range. 6 days. Not much time. I'll contact you again tomorrow, Taehyun said. Stay alive, Captain. The communication ended. Juwu sat in her cell, mind racing. She wasn't just fighting for survival now. She was part of something bigger. A real chance to escape. To free everyone. She added nothing to her wall that night. But in her mind, the count continued. Soon, very soon, the Voidborn would learn what humans were truly capable of. 5 days passed quickly. Through Yunji's network, Juwu spread the word. Cell by cell, level by level, humans prepared. Doyeon was moved to their section. He helped make better plans. As an engineer, he knew how ships worked. The shield generator is here, he explained, pointing to a spot on the map. 4 guards always. Heavy doors. But there's a way through the cooling system. Juwu spoke with Commander Taehyun every night. His ship, Shadow, moved closer each day. 4 more Earth ships followed behind it. We'll attack from 5 points, Taehyun said, but only when the shields drop. On the 6th day, Juwu was taken to the arena again. This time, something was different. 20 humans stood in the dirt circle. No guards inside. Magistrate Vrex's voice boomed from above. Humans of Earth, you have provided sport, but some of you think you can fight back. The doors around the arena opened. 50 guards entered, all carrying weapons. Today you will learn your place, Vrex continued. The ones who surrender will live. The rest will die. Juwu looked at the other humans. She recognized some from Yunji's network. They nodded slightly. It was happening now. Not as planned. But they were ready. Juwu stepped forward. We surrender, she said loudly. The guards relaxed. They moved closer. Juwu touched her side where she had hidden a stolen shock stick under her clothes. Other humans did the same with their hidden weapons. Now, Juwu shouted. 20 humans attacked at once. Shock sticks appeared from hidden spots. Guards fell in surprise. Alarms blared. Juwu fought her way to the main door. 3 guards blocked her. She moved fast, striking with speed the aliens never expected from a human. 1 guard fell, then another. The 3rd raised its weapon. Juwu ducked. The energy bolt hit another guard instead. More humans poured into the arena from outside. Yunji had freed them as planned. To the shield room, Juwu shouted above the noise. 30 humans followed her. They fought through hallways. More guards came. Some humans fell, but they kept moving forward. Doyun led them to a small door that the aliens thought was too small for them to use. This way, he called. They crawled through tight spaces. Hot pipes burned their skin, but they kept going. Finally, they'd reached the shield generator room. 6 guards protected it now. Behind them stood Magistrate Vrex. Prisoner 7219. Vrex said, I should have killed you when I had the chance. You never had the chance, Juwu replied. She signaled to the humans behind her. They attacked from both sides. The fight was hard. Vrex was stronger than the other aliens. His shock stick hit 3 humans, killing them instantly. Juwu faced him directly. You gave me a number, she said. She dodged his first strike, countered with her own. I made it a kill count. She struck again, faster. Vrex stumbled, not used to fighting someone who could match his speed. Doyun reached the shield controls. I need time, he shouted. Juwu and the others fought harder. Guards fell. Vrex knocked Juwu down, raised his weapon for a killing blow. But Yunji hit him from behind. Vrex turned. Juwu jumped up and drove her shock stick into a gap in his armor. Vrex screamed, fell to his knees. Shields down, Doyun shouted. Through the windows, Juwu saw flashes of light outside the ship. Earth vessels attacking. Vrex looked at her with hatred. You will all die, he said. Juwu carved her number into his armor. Not today, she answered. The ship shook as explosions hit it. Human voices called over the communication system. This is Commander Lee. We're boarding. Hold your positions. Juwu looked at the fallen guards around her. At Vrex struggling to stand. At the humans who fought beside her. The count would continue. But now it wasn't just her fight. It was humanity's. The ship shook as Earth vessels attacked from outside. Lights flickered. Alarms blared. Juwu and her group held the shield room. Doyun worked at the controls, keeping the shields down. Yunji helped injured humans. We need to reach the command center, Juwu said. That's where the ship is controlled from. Magistrate Vrex laughed from where he sat, wounded but alive. You think this is a victory? You know nothing. Juwu put her shock stick against his neck. Tell me what you mean. Vrex's dark eyes narrowed. We did not take humans just for sport. You were chosen. Special. Before he could say more, the doors opened. Humans in black uniforms rushed in. Earth soldiers. Leading them was a tall man with serious eyes. Commander Lee, Juwu said, recognizing his voice from their communications. Taehyun nodded. Captain Park, good to find you alive. He looked at Vrex. Is this the ship's commander? Yes. He was about to tell us why they took humans. Taehyun's soldiers secured the room. One checked Vrex's wounds. We've taken the lower levels, Taehyun reported, but we need to reach their data center. According to our intelligence, that's where they keep their research. Research? Juwu asked. On what? On us, Yunji said quietly. They've been running tests on humans. I've seen the labs. Taehyun nodded. We need to know what they've learned, what they wanted. Juwu looked at the map. The data center is 2 levels up. We can lead you there. Leaving some soldiers to guard Vrex, they moved through the ship. The fighting had spread everywhere. Humans against aliens. Some areas were damaged from the attack. Fires burned. Air hissed from broken pipes. They'd reached the data center. Inside, alien scientists worked at strange computers. They surrendered quickly when soldiers entered. Do-hyun went to the main computer. "I can read some of this," he said. "I learned their language while fixing their systems." For several minutes he read the alien data. His face grew darker with each screen. "What is it?" Ju asked. "They're dying," Do-hyun said. "The Voidborn. Their species is failing." "Explain," Tae-hyun ordered. "Their DNA is breaking down. Each generation is weaker than the last. They can't adapt to new environments, can't fight new diseases. And humans?" Ju asked, though she already guessed the answer. "We adapt quickly. Our DNA repairs itself better than any species they found. They were taking us to study, to use our genetic material to save themselves." Yoonji touched a screen showing human cells next to alien cells. They were going to replace parts of themselves with us. The room was quiet as they understood what this meant. "That's why they put us in the arena," Ju said, "to see which humans were strongest, most adaptable. And you are the best they found," came Vrex's voice from the doorway. He stood there, held up by two Earth soldiers. "You fought, survived, adapted, even escaped. Perfect." Ju stepped closer to him. "You killed thousands of humans, treated us like animals, to save billions of Voidborn," Vrex replied. "Wouldn't you do the same for your kind?" Ju thought of the humans who had died fighting back, who had been tested on, who had been forced to fight each other. "Not like this," she answered. "Never like this." Tae-hyun ordered his soldiers to download all the alien data. "This research could help humanity too," he said, "but on our terms." As they worked, Ju looked at the count in her mind, not just of aliens she had fought, but of humans she had helped save. She touched the number on her arm. 70-19. It meant something different now, something bigger, the beginning of an end, and the start of something new. The battle for the ship wasn't over. Many Voidborn still fought. They knew surrender meant the end of their plans to save their species. Commander Tae-hyun gathered his officers. "We need to take the bridge. Control the whole ship. It won't be easy," Ju warned. "Their best fighters will be there. And Vrex says there's a self-destruct system." Vrex, still their prisoner, smiled coldly. "If we cannot have what we need, no one will have this ship." Tae-hyun turned to Do-hyun. "Can you disable the self-destruct?" "Maybe," Do-hyun said, "but I need to be on the bridge to do it." Ju looked at her allies. Yoonji, who had built a network among prisoners. Do-hyun, who understood alien technology. And now Tae-hyun, who had brought hope from Earth. "We need two teams," she decided. "One to attack the main entrance to the bridge, another to go through the maintenance tunnels." "The tunnels are too small for Voidborn," Yoonji added. "They won't expect us there." The plan was made. Tae-hyun would lead 30 soldiers to attack the main doors to the bridge. Ju, Yoonji, and Do-hyun would take 10 others through the tunnels. They moved quickly. Time was running out. If the Voidborn called for help, more ships might come. Juhu's team crawled through hot, narrow spaces, the same tunnels that had helped them reach the shield room. Yoonji led the way, using her knowledge of the ship's hidden paths. They heard the attack begin at the main doors. Loud booms, shouts, energy weapons firing. "Almost there," Yoonji whispered. They reached a small vent that opened onto the bridge. Through it, Ju could see 20 Voidborn officers. They fired at the main doors, not knowing about the humans in the walls. "Ready?" Ju asked her team. They nodded, weapons in hand. Ju kicked the vent open. They poured onto the bridge, attacking from behind. The Voidborn turned in surprise. Caught between two human forces, they fought desperately. Ju headed straight for the command chair. There sat a Voidborn officer bigger than the rest, the ship's captain. "You, He hissed, recognizing her. The one with the number. The one with the kill count. Ju corrected, raising her weapon. The captain drew a long curved blade. Not an energy weapon like the others used. Something older. More personal. They fought while chaos swirled around them. The captain was skilled. Strong. His blade cut Juwoo's arm. Her leg. But she had learned from every fight in the arena. Every battle in the halls. She moved like water around his strikes. Watched for patterns. Found weaknesses. The main doors burst open. Taehyun and his soldiers entered, firing at the remaining Voidborn. Dohyun rushed to the main computer. Finding the self-destruct now, he shouted. The ship's captain saw his bridge falling. In desperation, he lunged at Juwoo. She sidestepped. His momentum carried him forward. Juwoo struck from behind. The captain fell. It's done, Dohyun called. Self-destruct disabled. The last Voidborn officers surrendered. The ship was theirs. Juwoo stood over the captain. He wasn't dead, just wounded. Kill me, he said, like the others. Instead, Juwoo took his captain's insignia, the symbol of his rank. She carved her number into it, 7219. Then she placed it back on his armor. Live, she told him. Tell your people what happened here, what humans can do. Taehyun approached. The ship is secure. All decks. We've freed over 4,000 human prisoners. Juwoo nodded. She looked around the bridge. At the stars visible through the large windows. At Earth soldiers working alongside former prisoners. The count was complete. Not just of enemies defeated, but of friends saved. Of humans who would go home. Vrex had been right about one thing. Humans were special. Not just their DNA, but their spirit. Their will to fight. To survive. To protect each other. They had given her a number. She had made it more than a kill count. She had made it a symbol of humanity's strength. 3 months passed since the battle on the Voidborn ship. Earth had changed. People knew now that they were not alone in space, that other beings existed among the stars. Some friendly, some not. Juwoo stood at a window in the United Earth Defense Council building. The glass looked out over a city rebuilding after the alien attacks. New buildings rose. People moved about their lives. Different, but still human. Captain Park, a voice called. They're ready for you. Juwoo turned. Her uniform was new. Dark blue with silver stars on the shoulders. The rank of director shone on her chest. She no longer needed to hide weapons, to count kills on walls. She followed an aide into a large room. 20 council members sat at a round table. Military leaders, scientists, government officials, all waiting to hear from her. Director Park, the council leader said, "Your report, please." Juwoo touched a screen. Images appeared on the wall. The Voidborn ship, star maps, alien data. The ship we captured is now fully under human control, she began. We've learned much from its technology. Faster engines, better weapons, communication systems that can reach further than ever before. She changed the images. Now they showed DNA patterns, cell structures. The Voidborn research has also been helpful. They were right about human DNA being special. We adapt quickly, heal faster than most species. Our cells can survive conditions that would kill others. The council listened carefully. These were important discoveries. What about the prisoners? Someone asked. All surviving humans have been returned to Earth. Juwoo answered. Some have chosen to join our space fleet. Others just want to go home. She thought of Yunji, now leading a communication team. Of Dohyun, working with engineers to understand alien technology. And the Voidborn. The council leader asked. Any contact since the battle? Juwoo nodded. 3 days ago, we received a transmission from their home world. They want to talk. Not as hunters and prey, but as equals. This caused whispers around the table. No one had expected the Voidborn to want peace. Why the change? a military leader asked. Juwu changed the image again. Now it showed the Voidborn captain's insignia, with her prisoner number carved into it, 7219. They understand us better now, she said simply. They know what we can do, what we will do to survive. The meeting continued for another hour. Plans were made, future missions discussed. When it ended, Juwu returned to her office. On her desk sat a small box. Inside was the piece of her prison uniform with the number 7219. She kept it to remember, not the pain, not the kills, but the strength she found, the people who fought beside her. A light blinked on her computer, a new message. From a ship at the edge of the solar system, Commander Taeyeon's face appeared on the screen. Director Park, we've reached the meeting point. The Voidborn representatives will arrive in 6 hours. Any signs of trouble? Juwu asked. None. Their ship is smaller than we expected, more like a diplomatic vessel. Juwu nodded. Be careful anyway. I'll join you tomorrow. After the call ended, Juwu looked out her window again. At Earth, at the sky beyond. The Voidborn had learned about humans the hard way. Other species would too, if they came as enemies. But they could come as friends, could learn from humans just as humans could learn from them. Juwu touched the scar on her arm where her prisoner number had once been. She had removed the tattoo, but kept the memory. They had given her a number. She had made it a kill count. But in the end, it had become something much more important. A message to the stars. Humanity is here. We will not be prey. We will not be numbered. But we will talk. We will learn. We will grow. Together, if possible. Alone, if necessary.